this wonderful flag and our great nation. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Join me in a word of prayer this morning. Father, we come to you today and thank you for this day, and we thank you for the grace and mercy. We thank you for your Son. We just ask that you be with us as we make these decisions today, and be with our leaders across this country, and be with those that are in Santa Fe at this moment, Lord, making decisions for our state. And we just ask you to keep your hand on us. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Cindy, do we have a quorum?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Yes, you do.
I need approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, we have 2 minutes. Our regular meeting on December 21st, 2023, and then our special meeting on January 11th, 2024 to approve. I move that we approve both sets of minutes.
Motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of minutes for December the 21st, is that right?
Yes.
And January the 11th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, in accordance with Ordinance Number 31, Chaves County Board of Commissioners must elect a chairman and a vice chairman of the commission for the year 2024. The terms for these positions are for 1 year, and the elections will become effective as of this meeting, as soon as y'all get it done.
Mr. Chairman, I
Commissioner Taylor.
move that we elect Jeff Bilberry Chairman, Calder Zell Vice Chairman for the year 2024.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Taylor, second by Commissioner Perry for the position, Jeff Bilberry's position as chairman and vice chair, Calder Ezell. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So here we are. Off we go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. At this time, there's is Brenda Dorsey, is that right? Would you like to come up and give us a talk about Big Brothers and Big Sisters, please? Yes, ma'am. And for the record, your name and your address, please.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for allowing me to speak today. I really appreciate that. My name's Brenda Dorsey, and I do live in Alamogordo. My title is Vice President of Rural Programs, so I oversee Chaves County, I oversee Otero County, and I oversee San Juan County. So I have a pretty good reach, but your county is very dear to me because I went to high school here. I went to Mesa Middle School here, so I graduated from Farmington, and I live in Alamogordo. So the counties that I represent, I've lived in all of them, so I'm really appreciative of that. What I'm here today for is because you asked me to come. No, I want to update you. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are so supportive of us. You are a fiscal agent for our junior monies, and every month from here on out, I'll be giving a report, a written report to you. And I understand that Albuquerque has been doing such up to this point. I'll be giving the report each month, and during that report, you can expect to see the numbers of where we're at with our matches. You can also expect to see match stories that will give you real-life examples of how we're working in your community, okay? Today, I just want to call attention to a few facts on the impact statement for 2023. When I started working with Chaves County was about a year ago, and we only had 14 viable matches. And so today, we're serving 99 matches, so we're nearly at 100. We made 13 new matches in December, which is almost unheard of because December is the month that nobody's doing anything, really. Yeah. So the fact that Chaves County was able to make 13 new matches during that month is remarkable. Last year, those matches, part of how we measure how successful the children are being served is in match engagement hours. We want to know how often the mentor and the mentee meet in order to really know the child's being serviced. And they, last year, did 4,045 mentoring hours, and that's noted on your impact statement also. We have a big majority of those youth being served by high school bigs, so we're supporting the high school mentors in leadership skills as well as trying to encourage some of them to go into the field of education when they graduate. So that's been really helpful. So when we say that we serve 99 matches, you can almost double that, because I would say just off the top of my head, about 75% of those are high school big matches in the site-based schools. So when you figure that, we're also serving all those high school bigs, even though that's not something that Big Brothers Big Sisters counts, that we serve those high schoolers. The schools we're currently serving in, and what it takes to get us to serve in a school is to just have them say they'll have us. Okay, so we've met with the superintendent here in Roswell, and he said we're welcome in all of the schools. That's really great. Sometimes principals are not as flexible, and the superintendent says, you're welcome, but the principal says, not really. And so then we don't get in as many schools. We have a desire to be in all the schools. Okay, currently we're serving Roswell High, Valley View Elementary School, Monterey Elementary School, and East Grand Plains Elementary School. Okay? Before I go into what we're doing currently, I want to share with you just really quick that because of your support, we were able to have our first ever Christmas festival here in Roswell with our bigs and littles, and 90% of those matches attended that. And they were games, music. It was held at the Fraternal Order of Eagles, and they had games, music, treats, photos with Santa and with the Grinch as desired, and prizes. But 90% of the matches attended that event. It was about 4 to 6 hours, so it was really a great event. So thank you for that. The 2024 projections, and we try to project really realistically. I always say that I know we'll go over these projections, but our 2024 projections are that we will have at least 64 new site-based matches, 14 new community-based matches, and 50 new high school mentors. And the new school partnerships that we plan to move into is Goddard High School, Nancy Lopez Elementary, Del Norte Elementary, Gateway Christian School, and Dexter School District. So I will stand for any questions unless you say my 5 minutes is up and I need to not stand for anything, at which I'll move.
Brenda, thank you for that report.
You're
Thank you for what
welcome.
Does anyone have any questions, comments?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have, I grew up in Alamogordo, so.
Oh, okay.
I feel you. Thank you for being over
You
here.
feel me.
Yes.
I love that.
Oh, I love Alamogordo too. So, thank you so much for this. Now, the funding that y'all put in for Chaves County is for Chaves County, and
Yes.
also for mentoring programs, and that's
For
basically
one-to-one
what
mentoring.
y'all do.
Yes, we do one-to-one mentoring.
Okay.
So it's one adult or one high school big matched with one child.
Okay.
So when we talk about matches, it's a partnership of two.
Okay, all righty, so that helps. What does that funding do? I mean, I know I've known several people who've done this program and everything, but they've never really discussed much about it. What does the big have to pay for everything? I mean, what will this
Everything in-
funding help?
Thank you
with?
for that question. Everything in our program is free to the mentor, to the little, and to the parents, the family. And so what this money helps us do is, first of all, we have to heavily vet our bigs.
Yes.
So it helps us pay for background checks. It helps us pay for fingerprinting. It doesn't even matter if it's the general in the military. They're going to go through our
Right.
process for background checks. So it helps us do that. It also helps us. We have a very serious interview process to make sure that we're matching people with like interests, so that the match will last and it won't be just an in and out for that little. It helps us with our different events that we have. That way that helps defray any cost for the big.
Okay.
Because our community-based bigs, if they take their little out in the community, they take them to the movies, they typically will pay for that event.
Right.
But it helps us to also have events that are free to the bigs and littles, so that if somebody wants to become a big but they don't have money, they can do that, and they can come to our events that are free and spend all their time with us, with their mentee, and still fulfill all the hours that we would like for them to spend with their little.
Okay, good.
you for
Because
that
I
question.
think a lot of people don't understand that, and I think they think that's the barrier. Well,
Yes.
I don't have a lot of money, so I can't. And-
Absolutely, and
and-
one thing we pride ourselves on is that we are free. We
Yeah.
are free. We do not charge anybody anything to be in our program. Anybody can be in our program, and we don't charge for that. And with, again, community-based bigs, oftentimes they'll be adult bigs.
Right.
And they will choose to do things with their littles that are maybe a little more extravagant than a high school big would choose to do. And that's fine if they want to do that, but we will help defray the costs with, first of all, we do also try to get some, within the community, we try to get some bargains for them.
good.
But we also, like I said, have events like this December event, so that they can come to that and spend the time with their little and engage for free and us foot the bill.
Good. And your events, the whole families of the littles can come?
They are. We actually call them family fun events. So
Okay,
we're not
good.
only serving children, but
Good.
we're serving that entire family.
Good, because that's one
It's
thing.
wonderful. That's what they need.
Yes, that's what they
Absolutely.
need. They don't need just the big, but
Absolutely.
helping
And we
the whole
really
family.
encourage that because we
Good.
want them, we want to show the families, some families need to see how to have fun together.
Yes.
And we want to be able
Yes.
to show them that.
Good, good. Do you still do the bowl for kids' sake?
We do. Well,
Okay.
here in Roswell, they couldn't get the bowling alley last year. I was
Okay.
going to say, yes, we do, but then I'm talking about Otero. Here, they couldn't get the bowling alley
Okay.
last year, so last year they had a cornhole tournament
Oh,
for
cool.
kids' sake.
All
And it
right.
was very successful. They raised like $40,000.
Oh, wow.
And I guess everybody had a really great time. I came down. I'd never seen a cornhole tournament before, so I came down to watch it. My husband played in it, but I came down to watch it. It was a lot of fun, so yes.
Well, good, good.
I want to go
That's-
back to one thing you did ask. All money raised in Chaves County stays in Chaves
Good,
County. So
good.
whether our program is Southeast New Mexico and it includes Artesia, that's a different county. Your money raised here stays right here for you guys.
Good. I'm glad you
It
said
doesn't
that.
even venture up my way. Darn.
I'm glad you said that because that's one of the concerns that, I mean, I
Always.
was with the Red Cross and that's one thing people asked about our financials.
Always.
If you raise money, does it stay here to help families? So
Absolutely.
I'm
Very
glad
important.
you said that.
Very
Yes,
important.
It is. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Commissioner Perry.
Thank you for the presentation. It's very informative.
Thank you.
Earlier, you mentioned that you're trying to get into all the schools, and the superintendent absolutely supported this.
Yes.
Some of the local principals did not. Without doing a deep dive, can you give me like a general answer of why?
No. Yes, I can. I'm one of these people that say things exactly as they are, so I have to always think for just a second. But yes, I can. A lot of it's flexibility. What it comes down to is flexibility in education. And I was in the school districts for 27 years, so I understand the importance of kids spending time with their classroom teacher. But sometimes it's that they don't see the relevance of that one-on-one time with that mentor, and so they're not willing to give up that classroom time to have that mentor match with them. So say you said, I'll be a big, but I can only go from 1 to 2. Then there might be schools that would go, no, if we're going to have bigs in here at all, they need to be here from 8:30 in the morning to 9:30. It really limits us to who we can bring into the schools for that. So we're not necessarily told we don't want you here. I've never heard those words in any of my career with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and when I was in the schools, I used Big Brothers Big Sisters. So never is that said, but they just make it almost impossible to work the program within the schools because of the fact that they won't be flexible enough to let our bigs come the hours that they can come. Does that answer that question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You have my email. You want a little more fullness, email me. Any
Thank-
other questions?
Yeah, anyone have anything else? Brenda, thank you for what you do.
Thank you. I'll be
Appreciate
back
it.
in
It's an
May.
important job, so.
And
thank-
I'll be updating you each month by mail, but I will be back in May to give you an end-of-the-year report.
Okay,
So
thank you
thank you
very
for
much.
having me. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Lamb. Yeah, there you are. From the Boys and Girls Club.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, thank you guys so much for having me here. I am Rick Lamb with the Boys and Girls Club of Chavez in Lincoln County.
Could you
First-
give your address to your name and address for the
Yes,
police? I'm sorry.
so my address in Roswell is 6112 West Jaffa. I'm guessing you're asking my physical address?
Yes.
Okay, 6112 West Jaffa
Yeah, okay,
is
thank
my
you.
address. So at the Boys and Girls Club, we, the money that you get, are the fiscal agent for is for preventative programs. We very much believe that if we don't help these kids understand what to do when a situation comes up, then they're just going to do whatever they want to do. And we want to help prevent that. And so we've done this in multiple different ways. One of the ways we do it, and probably the most fun that the kids have, is STEM. The kids love STEM, and we do this in multiple different ways. One, we have gotten microscopes this school year. In those microscopes, they have been able to see some things I actually never even got to see. They have found cockroaches, and they have found spiders, and they have found some of the coolest plants to put under these microscopes and look at them and just see what the anatomy looks like at a very, very close angle. We have a STEM project called Makey Makey. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but this is probably one of my fun ones that I enjoy. What it is it was made by MIT students. It took them 10 years. You use inanimate objects, so you're talking candy, muffins, whatever you can possibly imagine, and you hook it up and you use it to play music. And it's really that simple. But it's all about a simple board. And we teach them about those boards by programs like Snap Circuits, where they learn to put different aspects together to create electricity. And so they can turn on a light, or they can turn on a fan, or they can make a noise, which everybody seems to enjoy a lot more than the other ones. We have Ozobots, and we have Bee-Bots, and we have all kinds of different coding projects. So the kids learn about the basics of coding. We live in a world where computer coding is massive, and they are constantly learning about all of these. We have pictures on our websites and on our Facebook page where you watch these kids in the gym with different coding units, where they can actually see them moving around and creating different colors and having them go different directions. And they start off with the Bee-Bots, where you're literally just pressing a couple buttons at the top and telling it to go. And we use these to help not only teach these kids coding, but then they also learn maybe their ABCs, or they learn their numbers, or they learn math, or they learn how to spell. You can use those for so many different things. And then as you get higher and higher in the coding scale, now you're actually plugging the codes into the computer itself, and it tells it what to do. And so they're just moving these bots in all different directions. We do programs called Positive Action. Positive Action is a social emotional learning. It helps children to develop self-management and encourage responsible decision making. That's huge, at least in my book. And one of the biggest things that we have focused on, so for Positive Action, there are 144 different lessons. Nice thing is each lesson takes about 15 to 20 minutes, but there is a lot of lessons that go with it. But the biggest focus we have had so far is self-concept, who they are as a person, who they want to be, what they think of themselves. Those key factors are so important to make sure that they understand that when you get out into the world and you've got everybody bombarding you in 1,000 different ways, to still hold on to that concept of who you are and where you want to be in life and what difference you actually want to make. Power Hour. Power Hour is a program we use to help kids with homework. We average 40 different kids that come to the program each month, and most of them are on a continuous basis every single solitary day. We do Power Hour Monday through Thursday, and it's that first hour. Once they get their snack, they come on in and they get their homework done. They have somebody there to actually help them. So when they're struggling with math, or they're struggling with their words, or they have to read a book, they've got somebody there to actually help them do all of that stuff. We have, since I started in 2022, started with 12 kids. We now have almost 50 kids at the Boys and Girls Club. Now, 50 kids in Roswell isn't a ton, but there's a change happening, and we are making a difference. And a big part of that is because of what you guys have done being the fiscal agent for us. All that money has stayed in Chavez County. Yes, our name says Chavez and Lincoln counties, but we use QuickBooks. We specifically designate all of that money to Chavez County and to these kids. And it has helped us in a ton of ways, not only with these preventative programs, but we've been able to actually look outside, and I've been able to make contact. Last year, in December, we were able to have Santa Claus come. Now, this money didn't pay for that, but because of you guys being a fiscal agent and being able to take time to go look at other aspects, Santa Claus came, the Children's Foundation for First Responders, the police came, all of the firefighters came, we had the Sheriff's Department there. It was a blast. And because we were able to spend more focused time on looking outside for other events for the kids and not looking on where we're going to be able to get the money to run these programs, these are those different things that we have been able to do. So thank you guys so very, very much. I stand for questions.
Thank you. Any questions, comments?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. I just have, one of your big events is the Community Thanksgiving
Yes.
thing. And that's where the kids and the families can come and see what's going on and stuff, plus to feeding the families and stuff. I know it's a great time for the kids and the families, plus the community. I mean, anybody in the community can go to that.
Yes, so every November, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, we do our community Thanksgiving dinner. It is completely free. One of our board members and I work together, and we get donations from all across Roswell to help out with that. My first year in 2022, we did probably about 180 meals approximately. This past year, we did 260 meals. And it just keeps growing. The beautiful thing about all of this too is in 2025, when the Boys and Girls Club hits their 65-year anniversary, at least for the building, we are going to go open back up to having Thanksgiving dinner at the club. So it's not just going to be a come in and get your food and leave. It's actually going to be a sit down and be able to socialize with everybody that's there.
Cool. Well, thank you. Just to remind folks, and correct me if I'm wrong, Annabelle, the funding that we got for Boys and Girls Club and also for Big Sisters, Big Brothers, what came from the legislature through our junior funding. And so we sent out for RFPs. Just want everyone to know, this is kind of an investment that the legislature has done, and we can in turn take that and invest in groups, especially helping kids and families in our community. So thank you both for putting in. I know it's tough to kind of find funding out there and stuff, but when we have funding available, it's nice to be able to invest in our families and our kids here in Chaves County. And thank you both for stepping up and helping us with that. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, appreciate your hard work. Commissioners, in front of you, there should be a sheet that shows the commissioner committee assignments. Is everybody okay with those, or do you have heartburn to serve in a different capacity? We don't have to have a motion or anything,
Just approve, okay.
just making
Yeah.
sure that everybody's okay with it. Okay.
Mr.
Yep.
Chairman, if it's okay, I'll go ahead and change them to 2024 commission committee appointments and send that out to everyone, so they'll have one with the proper year on it. Thank you.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Yes, and to build, I know on the fire, who is doing fire? Jessica's doing fire? Okay. Yeah, just make sure whoever is coordinating, they have who's on those committees.
We will.
And that way, everybody knows who's supposed to be there and who's supposed to be showing up
Okay.
for those committees. Thank you.
We'll do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to agenda item number A, public hearings. Agenda item number 1, case Z 2023-2 per section 8.3 of the Chaves County subdivision ordinance, number 51, a vacation of a 20-foot alley and platted subdivision. Lewis, you're up.
Thank you, Chairman. Commissioners, good morning. You recall that we tabled this item last month, and Mr. Olves is here. We are here to approve or deny the vacation replat of a 20-foot wide by 790-foot long platted alley located between lots 1 and 2 of Block 11 of Apache Hills Number 2. This vacation request complies with all requirements set forth in Section 8.3 and New Mexico Statute 47-6-7. The adjacent landowner, Mr. Diego Ovias, has requested this vacation. The surrounding landowners have been notified of this public meeting by mail. All utility companies providing service in the area have been notified. This vacation would not affect the neighbors or surrounding service companies due to sufficient right-of-way in the adjacent roads. If approved, the alley area would be dedicated to the sole adjacent owner per state statute 47-6-7-B.
Raines Surveying has provided a vacation replat survey that is necessary to complete the vacation process. That's in your packet. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of this case by a vote of 5-0, based on findings of facts 1 through 4, as stated in staff's report. Staff is in favor of the vacation request, and the adjacent landowner is here to present.
Mr. Chairman, we need to take that off the table.
Right. Stan, do we need to do that before we have any discussion, or?
Yes.
Okay. So I need a motion to bring this off of the table then.
Mr. Chairman, I move we take case Z 2023-2 off the table and bring it before the commission.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ezell, second by Commissioner Taylor to bring case Z-022, or 23, I'm sorry, off of the table. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. So this is a public hearing, so we will move on to that. Is there anyone here in favor, to speak in favor of?
Name and address.
Need your name and your address, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Diego Olivas, and I am the landowner. I'm just here to ask for your permission to build. I'd like to build a house here, and I'm not originally from this area, but I do call Roswell home. I've been here for 13 years. I graduated from Goddard High School. I also graduated from New Mexico Military Institute with my associates. I've served in the military, and I've also been a member of Brenda Fire. So I'm trying to be a productive member of the community, and I would like to make Roswell home.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for him? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else in here to speak in favor of? Okay, anyone here to speak against? Okay.
No, nobody online.
Yeah, nobody online. Okay. I forget about Facebook, so you'll have to wave your hand. Okay, seeing no one to speak against, commissioners, need a motion to approve this case, or?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the application for vacation of a 20-foot alley as set forth in case Z 2023-2 pursuant to section 8.3 of the subdivision ordinance.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Ezell, seconded by Commissioner Perry for approval of case Z-2023-2. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Move on to agenda item number 2. Lewis?
Mr. Chairman, just for clarification, that included the findings of fact.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. Thank you.
I didn't see that there were any.
You know,
Chairman, Commissioners, this is an appeal to Resolution R-23-054, the condemnation resolution. The Charles Noriega of 6217 Devonian Street, Roswell, New Mexico, 88201. This is to consider Mr. Noriega's appeal. Per Resolution R-23-054, Mr. Noriega has appealed the condemnation of his property. Legal description of the property is Lot 11 of ABO Industrial Sites. This property is covered with auto wreckage, trash, litter, and debris. This property has a number of manufactured homes and recreational vehicles on the property that seem to be occupied by transients. This property has been a nuisance and hazard to the surrounding community for many years. This property is zoned I-1 industrial. However, Mr. Noriega does not possess a state vehicle recycling license nor a dealer's license that would allow him to store the wreckage and dismantling vehicles per New Mexico Statute 66-4-1.1. Without this license, Mr. Noriega is not able to dispose of the vehicles legally. Per New Mexico Statute 66-4-1.1, the legal process for disposing of vehicles requires a licensed auto recycler to confirm the VIN numbers, notify the legal owner or lien holder of the vehicle, and then dispose of the vehicle properly. In 2012, District Court Judge Charles Curry ordered that Mr. Noriega was not to engage in the business of auto recycling unless he possessed proper licensing to do so. Staff's and legal's recommendation, I defer to Mr. Williams for the staff's recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, we were unsure as to how to proceed with this. Obviously, it's always in the best interest to allow someone to clean up their own mess, and we agree with that, but we want to be sure that if we were to move forward with something, that we had all the assurances necessary to assure that there were benchmarks, those kind of things along the way. And as you told me, Commissioner Bilberry, you don't want to kick this can down the road and leave it for a future commission to deal with, so you would like to see it resolved before the end of the year. And I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention, that we're willing to let them do it, but it's got to be cleaned up pretty quickly. Our recommendation would not be to table it, not to kick the can down the road, but maybe to discuss ways that we can assure that this is done. Sorry, Stan.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Noriega is here.
Okay.
Okay.
So anyway, that would be our recommendation, that we work to a solution that will assure that it's done and move forward. But that's...
Okay, being public hearing, is anyone here to speak in favor of this appeal? Mr. Noriega, do you want to get up and talk? Your name and your address, please, for the record.
Charles Noriega, 6217 Devonian Road. Sir, this fire that started out there was, this guy that was hanging around the place started the fire on purpose and stuff, and was told to put it out and stuff, and he didn't put it out, and or he said it was going to go out, and he just let it get out of hand and stuff. And, my place, I know it's a little junky and stuff like that. It's supposed to be a junkyard. I've collected cars over the years and stuff. I've cleaned up half the cars here in Roswell, at one time. That were junk laying all over the town, the county. And, I've done my best to keep the place clean and stuff. People come in, take stuff, steal stuff. And, Mr. Harrington himself here, he knows what I've been going through and stuff. And, I just need time to clean this place up. I've already been working on it and stuff. And, there's so much stuff there, I just need time. I don't have the means or the money to clean the place up, so I'm just getting friends, relatives, whoever can help me clean it up and stuff, and I just need, enough time to do it. And I've already started on it, and, I know, around over there on the north side of town, there's houses out there that are in bad a shape as my place, that have been there for years and years. I've driven around town off 23rd Street. There's trailers that have been tagged there for 2 years, that are still there. Nobody's done anything about it. It's all over town. There's debris and stuff. My place isn't the only one. So I just asked for time to clean it up.
Mr. Noriega, do you have a time frame or a plan?
I would say if y'all could give me at least till the first of this next year coming up, that I could have it all cleaned up. I already started cleaning it up, stacking cars up, cleaning up as I'm going. I called zoning where they can go up there and look at the property and see what I've done already, so, I just need a little more time to clean it up, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else here to speak in favor of this appeal? Anyone else? Anyone here to speak against the appeal? Yes, ma'am. Your name and your address, please.
My name is Shirley McVeigh. I live at 2003 East Guyena, and the reason I would like to see it closed is the fires have been a big problem. There was a big fire in 2007, which they did clean it all up at that time, and then now this recent one in November. I have a barn full of hay. If the fire gets out of control, my land is pretty much gone too. And the transients are a big problem. There's constantly shots fired out there. My husband gives riding lessons to children. They don't know where these shots are going. I don't know how safe they are. There's nothing I can do to control that. As long as the transients are there, the trash is a big problem. It's all up and down our place. Many of us had to fence the back part of our properties to keep the cars from driving across them. They've been on our properties many, many times. So these have been problems that we have, and I know many of my neighbors are here also in protest against this continuing. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Name and address for the record, please.
Good morning. My name is Carolina Mendez. I own Rudy's Towing Service. I'm at 6221 Devonian Street. I also have a property at 6219 Devonian Street, which is next to Charlie Noriega. All that he said is lies, because he cannot dispose of those cars illegally right now. He does not have an auto recycling license, so even if you gave him the permission to clean up his yard, it's illegal. There has to be a legal auto recycler to go in there and to then inspect every vehicle on his property, make sure that the current registered owners have been notified by certified letter, and that information is given by the MVD. There are lien holders that are owners of vehicles, and there's owners that need to be notified. And the only way that that can happen is to have an auto recycler to go into the MVD website and to obtain all those records, because there's a law, a DPP law that is a federal law that does not give information to just anybody. If you're driving a vehicle, they cannot just pull up your information and know where you live. It has to be an auto recycler, because I do this every single day. I am part of the NMVDIS, which I have to put in all my cars that I have on my lot when I'm going to auto recycle them, when they're going to go into a smasher that I have on my property. I have my own smasher. I have to notify NMVDIS. It's a national database that tells them that these cars are not stolen. Who's going to go in there and see if those cars are stolen? Is he going to do it himself? Is he going to go into the motor vehicle division website? Who's going to give him permission to do that, to find out who owns every car? He says he's been a collector. He said that back in 2012 with Judge Currier, that he was a collector. They were all sentimental value to him. But there's a right way and a wrong way, and he's been doing it the wrong way. I've been doing it the right way. I've had an auto recycler license since 2006, because that's when the auto recycler license came. I've been a tow yard and a towing business for 25 years, since 1997. When I got my property on Devonian, it's because it was heavy industrial, and I was able to have cars there, and I was able to dispose of cars there. And before 2006, I had to step foot in the MVD every single day to do tow liens. Tow liens have to be processed. If with every car that I get, he says he's cleaning up the street, I'm cleaning up the street. Every time law enforcement calls me to pick up an abandoned car or to pick up a DUI, if those people don't come back and retrieve their car and pay the towing fees, that car stays in my yard, and then it becomes abandoned on my yard, and then it goes through the auto recycling business that I have. I have 3 licenses. I have a tow license, I have an auto recycling license, and I have a dealer license. I keep those active every year. In fact, I just renewed mine for this year, and I'm going to keep it. But what he's done is done everything illegal. And if he's going to stand here and tell you that he needs time, a whole year, to clean up his yard, that's not true. I'm going to show you a picture of what I took today. This is a car. I don't know. It's a car that showed up in front of his property yesterday. It's stripped. There's no engine in it. There's no transmission in it. They just drop off cars randomly. I don't know where this car, but this is what I have to maneuver through. When I go home, when I go to my business every day, this is what I have to maneuver through. Mobile homes that are thrown in the street, RVs that are thrown in the street, cars that are thrown in the street, and then they just sit there for months and months and months, and the county has to pick it up. The county has to clean it up. I'm the one paying taxes. I'm the one reporting taxes. When I do a tow, when I sell a car, when I do recycling, my metal goes to Albuquerque Recycling. And I get a check for that metal, and I pay taxes. I pay gross receipts to this county. And I've been doing it for 25 years. And this man has done nothing. He is under the radar because he has no license. Every time I've talked to the state of New Mexico Recycling Commission, they tell me, oh, he's not licensed. We can't go after him, but we can go after you. Why did it take you 3 months to dismantle this car? Because it's no longer here. It took me three months to contact the registered owner, to deem it abandoned, to do my paperwork and send it to Santa Fe and tell you this car is no longer going to be on my property. That's why it took me. They'll come to my place and they'll harass me. The state will harass me about it, but they will not harass this guy. And I am a VIN inspector, a certified VIN inspector. I've been a notary. I've been everything that I had to do through the years to conduct my business fairly. To this community, I don't rip them off. When I tow a vehicle and that grandmother comes to me and she tells me, you know what, this is my only car to get around. But my grandson took it and he got arrested. And you know what I tell him? I say, what do you have to pay the tow bill? At least pay something. And I give them their car back. And I have to show the state of New Mexico, the PRC, they come and audit my tow bills. I have to show everything that I've charged them for the hookup, for the storage, for the miles, for all the administration fees that I have to process a vehicle, and I'm the one cleaning up. Mr. Jaramillo just called me to clean up a property, 2 properties in this town. My guys have been working for 2 days to cut trees, to remove cars because they can't get to them, or trucks cannot get to them. He called me because he knows. He's been talking to me. He knows that we're a legitimate business and we have the power to go into those yards. And if Charlie's concerned about picking up all this trash in this town, call me and I'll do it. And I'll do it the legal way. But I will not go onto his property and pick up that trash because will not put my family in danger of whatever's on that property. Who knows what's on that property? I will not touch it. I will go on to any random place, and those people will not be there. They've already moved out. Their place is condemned or whatever, and I'll go on there and I'll remove those cars because there will be no retaliation. I'll just go in there and do my job. I cannot do that on his, even though I have the legal right to, if you tell me to go on his property, to remove all those cars and check all those cars and make sure that every legal owner has been notified, nobody can do it, only a recycler. He cannot do that. So if he's going to stand here and tell you that he needs a whole year, another year to start bringing more cars in as of yesterday, he knows this hearing was today. He knows that it was all about cleaning up his yard, but he defies you. He defies the law. He does not care about the law. He does not care. And I don't care to stand up here and tell you that I'm not afraid of him, because the ones that are afraid are the ones that break the law, not obey the law. I'm not afraid. Anybody can come into my yard and point out a car and say, how did you get that car? How did you get that car? I'm doing an investigation. Show me the car that we picked up. I've had officers come back later and tell me, hey, do you still got that car? I need to look at it. I said, pull out my paper. There it is. I brought it in a certain day. It's still there. It's not ready to be dismantled or crushed or got rid of. I'm going to do it step by step, the legal way. And that's what I've had to live with for the last, since 2001, that I moved in next door. That's what I've had to live with this guy. And yes, the day that the fire started, my husband and my son and my grandson were moving cars away from his property so our cars that were on the fence line would not ignite. And every time the firemen went in there to try to take out the fire, because he has no running water, they had to drive their trucks to get water, and by the time they came, there was an explosion. All we heard was explosions. All we heard was the gunshots, because there was bullets in there were taking off every which way. And another thing that he does is he burns copper, and all that stuff just comes to my face, comes to my house. Can you imagine somebody burning copper and you walking out your front door and there's that odor that you can't get out of your nose? That's what we had to live with. We had to shut every door, shut every window, and go in our house and wait till he's done burning copper to get rid of it. He cannot get rid of those cars. He cannot.
Ms. Mendez, is that correct? Is that your name?
Yes.
Thank you for that informative depiction of what's going on. And I have a question for you. It sounds like you're very knowledgeable about your business. Each car, you're saying when you have to get a VIN check and all the necessary paperwork, did you say that's about a 3-month process? By the time you mail stuff? Or, I mean, is that what's an average?
If I pick up a car today, the sheriff department, the state police, they have an abandoned car, I pick it up, I have from 2 to 6 days to notify the owner and the lien holder. So I get on to the first thing that I do is check Navitas to see if that vehicle has been stolen. Because when they pick it up, they will report it stolen. They play games.
Right.
So a lot of the times when they get arrested, if it's not even an abandoned, maybe it's an arrest, they'll call it in stolen. So when I check it, it's stolen. And guess what? I have to call them back. And I said, I picked up this vehicle. It's reported stolen. They got to clear it. Okay, that's the first thing I do. Second thing I do, I get on my website, on my New Mexico portal, and it tells me, I put in the VIN number. I check the VIN number. There's 2 places. There's one on the windshield. There's one on the door. They got to match, because that's the VIN inspector that I am. They can find 1. I have to find 2, because that's the level of VIN inspector I am. So once I find out that who that owner is, I send them a certified letter. And there's a form that New Mexico has for me to send it out. It's a form that's on their website. So I send them that certified letter. After 30 days from the certified letter, it's deemed abandoned. So then Rudy's Towing, it shows abandoned for Rudy's Towing, but then it has to go into the recycling. So it's got to sit there another 30 days. So a 60-day that it has to sit there, because I'm Rudy's Towing and I'm Rudy's Recycling. And if I want to get a title, it stays longer because there's a longer process to get a title. So if I want to keep the car and sell it back, I have to get a title. And that title has to be cleared. And I use my dealer license to put that car back on the road. I give them a template, and then they're back on the road with it. It's all legal. They have to have a driver's license. They have to have insurance. Just like you walk into a dealership here, you have to have a driver's license, you have to have insurance, and you purchase that vehicle. That's what they have to do with me, because I abide by the dealer licensing bureau.
So would it be safe to say a quick turnaround on the process to dispose of a vehicle would be 3 months?
It could be, like if I have a car that I just got abandoned, like these cars that Mr. Jaramillo had us pick up, they are stripped. So in 60 days, they're gone. They're thrown in my crusher, but my paperwork is done. That paperwork is sent into Santa Fe, and it's got a VIN inspection on it. It's got from start to finish where I got it, who signed for me to pick it up. They got to authorize for me to get on that property, pick it up, and I do all my paperwork. From the stamp on the certified letter, it says 60 days, it's crushed. If not, I could keep it there and...
If I may, I would consider you very knowledgeable in your field and probably what we'd call an expert witness on that. In your opinion, based on your knowledge and your years of service to what you're doing, how long would it take just to get the legal documents together to dispose of all the cars that are out there?
You would have to get an auto recycler in this town, in this state, to go onto his property.
If you had all that, how long do you think it would take?
It would take probably about 60 days.
To clean them all up? Every vehicle?
No, per car. Per car.
So in your opinion, how long would it take to clean up all the cars?
Buddy from Remco did it back when Judge Courier had seized the property and kept him from going onto his property until he got a auto recycling license. Buddy took probably about 6 months to do it because he had to go in and then inspect every car. And it's hard when you got cars piled up like this that he says he's already piling up cars. You got to go in there with equipment to remove those cars off the piles, get into the VIN numbers, look through the windshield, break the windshield if you have to. We've had to do it. Make sure that they match the door because you have to have 2 VINs. And then from there you go on to the MVD and get your paperwork, and then you send out your certified letters. It took him months because him and his daughter did it. They went car to car to car, and they inspected every car because they were both VIN inspectors, and they cleaned it up. It took them a long time to clean it up, but they were the only ones permitted onto the property. Nobody else was permitted onto the property. Nobody was there to help him clean up. Nobody was there to help him to take the cars from the piles and bring them down. Buddy from Remco did it all alone. Him and his daughter did it all alone. He got his equipment. He got the forklift. He brought the cars down. He inspected them, VIN inspected them, made a sheet. There's a sheet that you have to make per car, a VIN inspection sheet, and then you go on with the rest of your paperwork. And that's what he did, and it took him months. He cannot do that because he's not he's not a legal bin inspector for one. So the police department would have to go in there, sheriff's department would have to go in there, inspect every car, give them back to him to do the paperwork, which would to be notifying current registered owner and lien holder. And I doubt that he's going to do that, because he's ready to get rid of them right now. And that's not the process. That's not the legal process.
Thank you.
Is there any more questions, or?
Anyone have anything else?
How many vehicles did Remco remove?
Before Remco got on there, he had started crushing hundreds of cars. He had them piled up probably 10 cars up. And so by the time that Remco got in there, a lot of those cars had been crushed and disposed of illegally. They were gone. By the time Remco came in, he probably processed about 400 cars. And those are all sentimental value cars. And those are all collective cars. And that's what he did, was have to go in there and check every VIN number off those cars. He did it the legal way. Buddy was an example to me. What he did, I did. He's no longer here, but he would tell me, you got to do this, this, and this, and I did it. And whenever his property got seized, they knew to go to Remco. They knew to go to Buddy, because he knew he did everything by the law. And that's what I've done in my business. Whatever he did, I did. Whatever the state said for me to do, if the state said jump here, get a VIN inspection certification, I did it. You got to notarize something to get vehicle owner, I became a notary. Everything that I had to do, I jumped through every hoop to do it. And I know, and you're looking at total opposites here. You're looking at a junkyard, his junkyard, and my junkyard. And you're looking at total opposites. One obeys the law, one despises the law, and is not going to abide the law. Then that's who I am. I'm the law abider. I'm not the lawbreaker. And that's what I've had to live with. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. How would you like to have a restaurant and somebody come in with a truck and park it in front of your restaurant and sell food? When you've gone through all the legal technicalities, you got all your licenses, you got all your inspections, but somebody comes in and starts selling food in front of your restaurant. That's what we've had to live with. That's what we've had to see come in and out of his yard. People with parts, people bringing cars, doing it the illegal way. That's what he's done.
Commissioner Ezell, you have a question?
After those 400 cars left via Remco, and whichever ones that Mr. Noriega had crushed, did additional cars come in and take their place?
They're right there right now. It was all clean. It was the most beautiful sight to us. Finally, it was clean. Not one car on there.
Okay.
But slowly, everything became sentimental, and he had to pick it up, and he had to put it on his property. And that's where you got hundreds of cars right now. And trailers. It wasn't enough to bring a car. He had to bring RVs and mobile homes and everything else that's on there. And the transits. I'm sure if a transit come into my property, I'm going to kick them out. They're not staying. They're not going to stay there. So he's well aware of what's going on. And I didn't want to come here, but I came because I don't know what's going to happen next year when me and my husband decide to say, you know what, we call it quits, we're giving it to our son. I don't want him to have to deal with this. My son wants to take over. My grandson wants to help him. I don't want to leave that to him. It's got to be cleaned up now. Something that has to be done now. And that's why I'm here, because of that very reason. And because my property is in jeopardy. Every time they have a fire, I could lose everything. I could lose thousands and thousands of dollars, and my life, what we've done on that property, from start to finish, from one single little car to one fence around it to what it's become now. I could lose it all because he says somebody comes on his property to start a fire, but he can't control it. Well, of course he can't. He has no running water. That's why. I'm going to give this.
Thank you very much.
But I appreciate what the sheriff has done through the years, and them doing everything every time, you know, they've given us a vehicle to tow or whatever. It's always been by their order and with the proper paperwork, and it makes my job easier. You know, so I appreciate that, because I'm in the county, and I need all the help that I can get to do things right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Louis, did you?
In my staff report, you were asking how many vehicles. In there is the documentation provided by Remco. In doing the math, there were 816 vehicles at the time.
This was what year?
Between November 2nd, 2010 and April 20th, 2012. That documentation is in the staff report.
Do you have any idea how many vehicles are there now?
No, sir. I have not done a count by the aerial photo.
Louis, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Looking at the pictures that you sent, obviously the red lines are the property lines, and it looks like there's encroachment, I guess it'd be to the east, where there's cars not on this Noriega
Yes,
property, or all the,
They've
are there some
wandered
cars
onto
that are off
Mr.
of his
Hellman's
property?
property.
Huh?
They have wandered onto Mr. Hellman's property.
They wandered on there.
It's the best I could say. Someone put them on there.
Is Mr. Hell, are they aware that there's,
Yes, we have notified them, and we have not heard any response from them.
so does Mr. Noriega have the authority to put cars on somebody else's property, do you know?
We have no documentation that permits that. No, sir.
So he filled up his property and he's using the neighbors now?
Chairman, Commissioners, it appears so, yes.
Thank you, Louis. And good job.
Thank you. Is anyone here else to speak against? Yes, sir.
Good morning. My name's Tommy Whitaker. I'm at 1909 East Guyena Road, right in front of Charlie's place. That's everything's bad there, but just the trash coming down our road. Before Charlie come out there, we kept our places clean. Everybody did. But there's more tires and junk that falls off in cars from the highway plumb into his place. It's just another concern. It's really, really junked up everybody's place out there, including mine. And I've got 3 or 4 properties right along there. So that's just my concern in it. And everything everybody said is right. It's a mess.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else to speak against?
Anybody online?
Anyone on the line? Did Mr. Gleason have a comment?
Mr. Chairman, yes, I got a phone call from Mr. McGlasson. He was going to try to get online and request, but he asked if I could read his letters aloud, and I told him it would be at your pleasure. So the first letter that he sent via emails from August 1st, 2020, Planning and Zoning, Chaves County Commissioners, number 1 St. Mary's Place, Roswell, New Mexico. Dear sirs, I would like to bring to your attention a reoccurring problem with zoning violation pertaining to an auto storage facility belonging to Charles Noriega. The subject property has a physical address of 6217 Devonian Road. My residence is located at 2003 East Guyena Road, Roswell, New Mexico, 88201. The subject property lies directly north of my residence in view of my backyard. See attached aerial image and supporting photos. This facility has been in constant violation of its property boundary through the past 14 years. The property with the red boundary line on the Google Earth photo belongs to Billy Helms. I've asked Mr. Helms multiple times for support to get these cars off his property, which is not zoned for auto storage. Please see the attached letter in reference to zoning proposal Z 2006-10. I'm asking for the county's help to remedy this situation. Virtually every day, new vehicles are being brought into further encompassing the view and occupancy of Mr. Helms' property. Please feel free to contact me with any questions or concerns you have. I look forward to hearing from you. Respectfully, J.J. McGlasson, 2003 Skyena Road, Roswell, New Mexico. And then January 24th, 2024, letters addressed to Chaves County Commissioners, Roswell, New Mexico. Objection to appeal of Resolution R-23-054. Dear Commissioners, this letter expresses our objection to the appeal of Resolution R-23-054 for condemnation of 6217 Devonian Street, Roswell, New Mexico. Ever since 2003, when we purchased the adjacent property located at 2003 East Guyena Road, there has been continuous problems with the subject property, operating without a license, trespassing and encroaching on adjacent property by placing autos, RVs, boats, and tire piles for extended periods of time, 2-minute traffic occurrences at all hours of the day, fires, explosions, which have occurred at least twice, operating without a license, people living in mobile homes and RVs on the property designated as an I-1 property type, trash and debris blowing across adjacent properties, unsafe storage of autos by stacking units several high. History shows the owner of the property has done nothing to comply with regulations and problems unless given ultimatums and then failed to meet compliance within the given time frames. We feel that if this appeal is granted, this matter will simply be a can kicked further down the road of time and governance without any repercussions for failure to comply while continuing to operate as business as usual. Thank you for your time and attention. J.J. and Krista McGlasson.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Anyone else to speak against? Mr. Noriega, I'm going to give you some grace here to come speak to us again.
Sir, for Ms. Mendez, all she's doing is blowing a lot of hot air, if you ask me, because she's picked on me, called the cops on me, done everything for all these years and stuff. And back in the day, I knew her husband, and I told him about the junkyard business and the tow business and all that, and he listened to me, and he went ahead and got into the tow business and stuff. You know, if it wasn't for me, they wouldn't even have a junkyard right now. You know, and I've been friends of Rudy. I was friends of his till he got his license. When he got his license, sir, he turned on the whole town. Anybody picking up cars with a dolly, with a trailer, pulling with ropes, whatever, he was turning everybody in to taxation revenue for months and months. You know, taxation revenue got tired of him calling so much. I got cited. I went to the court. I went over there in front of Judge Currier, and they were trying to cite me for presumption of auto recycling without a license and stuff. And I was in the tow business back then, so I had the right to have all those cars there. You know, I towed for the city, the county, and for the public. And I accumulated all those cars, you know, and when I got rid of them, they let me get rid of, I had 450 cars there. I got rid of them. The recycling place came in and crushed them because I had the right to, because I was in the tow business and I had a license for towing. And, you know, with Mr. Whitaker, the guy up here and spoke, he's got nothing but junk around his place. You know, he don't have a license. You know, he takes parts off all those trucks he's got over there, reuses them and stuff. He needs to be cited for auto recycling without a license. You know, it's just not me. You know, I'm getting picked on and picked on. When I had 1,000 cars on there, I had 1,000 cars on there when Remco went on my property. You know, I was allowed to go on the property with a state police escort whenever I wanted to go on there. You know, and you know, they made $700,000 off my property, off my cars. You know, I filed bankruptcy before that. I filed bankruptcy. you know, I was cleared. And then Ramco pencil whipped me for $325,000 they paid him to go in there and clean my property up. Took them 3 years to do it. You know, they kept me off my property for 3 whole years. I couldn't do nothing, couldn't make any money, couldn't support my family, you know, and, the taxation attorney that worked for Mr. Turr in Santa Fe, the one they hired, he came to Roswell. He went all over Roswell, checking out everybody that was in the tow business or that had junkyards and stuff. And he had went to Bob Jenkins' place, A1 Towing or A1 Auto Salvage, and Mr. Jenkins was pretty old and he forgot to renew his license. So they cited him for auto recycling without a license and stuff, where he took him like 3 or 4 months, 6 months to get his license back, you know. And that was because Rudy was complaining to the state for everybody. He's just a greedy man, is all he is. He wants everything for himself. That's all he wants. His wife had a beauty shop back in the day. You know, they filed a bankruptcy because of whatever. He wasn't paying her taxes or something. It came on the paper back then. You know, and after that, her husband sued Nova Bus for a bad back or whatever he did. That's how he got in the tow business and bought his first truck and stuff. You know, and I can't see why you know, the guy from taxation, his name was, the attorney they hired, his name was, I can't remember his exact name, but anyway, they hired him to go after me for tax evasion, the RICO law, all this. This man told me all this stuff. You know, he told me all this stuff. He told me, you know what, Charlie? He said, they're just using you for an example. You know, because you got this 1,000 cars on your property. He said, they're just making an example out of you. And that's what they did to me, sir. You know, they took $700,000 from me. They reopened my bankruptcy that was already closed. There was about $325,000 left. The bankruptcy took all that money and paid off the creditors from my first bankruptcy and paid them all off. You know, out of all that $700,000, sir, I didn't get a dime out of it. You know, not even a dime. You know, they took that money from my family. You know, I was going to go ahead and get my license, renew it, or I never had one, but I was going to get my license. I got my Swift Water Runoff Pollution Prevention Plan. I paid like $4,000 to get that done. And that's when Judge Currier abated my place a nuisance without even going to look at it. You know, he did that. You know, that lawyer for the state told me basically that he said, don't talk to none of the, he was on my side. He told me, don't even talk to the Business Licensing Bureau in Santa Fe, don't talk to none of them, he said. He said, they're all the enemy. And he's working for them. And he's telling me all this stuff. You know, and, you know, they took $700,000 from me. They gave me 30 days in jail. You know, my lawyer said, basically, isn't taking that $700,000 from Mr. Noriega enough punishment? You know, and Judge Currier says no. You know, he wanted to give me 30 days in jail, you know, plus taking all that money from me. You know, I think I've already been ridiculed, taken advantage of already. You know, I'm already, you know, 66 years old. You know, I'm disabled. My wife just passed away. My mom just passed away, you know, and, you know, I'm having a fight with my family about probate. You know, my wife's family about probate. You know, I'm going through a bunch of stuff right now. And, you know, I don't mind doing the right thing and cleaning my property up, but all this other stuff is just a bunch of BS to me. You know, these people can't prove nothing that I've done. You know, I got people that take cars out there and drop them off that are friends of mine that give them to me. You know, they don't stay out there in front of my property long. If they do, the sheriff's department lets me know, you know, and I get them off there. You know, somebody dumped a trailer on my property here a while back, not on my property, but across the road. They just dumped it there, you know. It wasn't my trailer. You know, I don't know who dumped it there, so they had it removed. But automatically they think it's me that left it out there, you know? And all I ask for is time to clean my place up, and I don't mind doing that, and I just need some time to do it, and that's all I'm asking for.
Mr. Noriega, are you conducting a business now?
No.
How do you put food on the table?
How do I do what?
Put food on the table.
I didn't understand you, sir.
How do you make money?
I'm disabled. I get a check. You know, my wife left me money. You know, there's all kinds of ways to support yourself without a business.
Why did you never get your recycling license?
I didn't get it, sir, because when I was in the midst of getting it, when I paid that money for that Swiftwater runoff pollution plan that I needed, which was part of the license, that's when Judge Courier abated my place a nuisance. So they stopped me. They stopped me from getting my license and stuff. They had my property for 3 years. You know, they should have just let me go on. You know, I was in the middle of bankruptcy at the time they took it. You know, the bankruptcy court was should have stopped all that stuff. You know, I shouldn't even have been cited, you know, because the bankruptcy court, they told me, was supposed to be the highest court in the land. You know, if you're going through anything, it all stops. You know, all court proceedings I was going through, all stopped. You know, everything but Judge Courier abating my place a nuisance, you know. And the place is industrial commercial. You know, what do they expect? You know what I'm saying? Industrial commercial property, you can basically do anything you want to on that property. You know, I went in front of the planning and zoning. I got that property approved for a salvage yard. I got my letter from them. I had everything from them. And when Judge Courier abated my place a nuisance, it stopped everything. You know, and then he took that $700,000 from me. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't do nothing after that. You know, they took everything I had. You know, what was I supposed to do?
Do you have any more questions, Commissioner?
Lewis, what are the terms and conditions of the order for condemnation that Mr. Noriega is appealing?
Can you all pass the microphone over so that they can talk into the microphone, please?
So what it is, Chairman, Commissioners, is within 10 days after having been served a copy of the resolution, he was, by order, the county manager could order that the property be rectified and cleaned, and the process could begin. He's asking for more than a 10-day cleaning process. He would like, according to his letter, he would like 1 year to clean the property, a specific amount of time of 1 year. Rather than us going out there, say, tomorrow and begin cleaning the property ourselves.
Mr. Noriega, it sounds like in the past, you have contracted with a licensed recycler to come in and smash some vehicles for you.
Sir, I just had 150 vehicles smashed about 4 months ago to clean up the property in the back. You know, the people that went out there and crushed my cars, they came and talked to the sheriff's department, they came and talked to the city police, and had it all approved to do it. You know, they went in there and did it, took the cars, you know, and everything was legal. You know, the lady showed me all the paperwork that she had signed, brought it over to me. They were out of El Paso. So it's not like I haven't tried to clean my property up.
Why did they stop at 150?
Because that's all I wanted them to take. That's why.
Stan, what are our options?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner You know, our options at this point are to either deny the appeal or approve the appeal and give him the time and have him come back and give us a plan of how he can get it cleaned up. And if he can't meet that timeline that you give him, if that's what you so choose to do, then we could potentially sit down with Mr. Noriega and try to work out our plan ourselves with him, or potentially end up in court asking a judge to order all of these cars be removed and kind of follow the same procedure potentially that was followed back in 2012, having a judge declare this a public nuisance and go that route. So we have some options, but I think it just comes down to what kind of deals we can make with Mr. Noriega or the court. Mr. Chairman, I will point out that the zoning does not allow anyone to be living on that property. So, I mean, we've got transients. He can't just do anything on the property, and he's clearly in violation of the zoning. He hasn't put up a fence. He hasn't done certain things like that that are required for industrial zoning, so he is in violation of that.
Mr. Chairman, it appears that Mr. Noriega is not only in those violations, but he's been operating a business without all the necessary licenses. My question is, how can another recycler come in there and clean that property up if they have the proper licenses?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, yeah, I think that could happen. We may have to get a court order to do that, but yeah, it's been done before. I think it could be done again.
Well, it's obvious that Mr. Noriega has been trying to operate businesses without license, and I really wonder what his tax situation is, whether taxes have been paid to the state, the federal government, county taxes, et cetera.
Sir, if I can speak, you know, they took $700,000 from me, you know. When I got my disability.
Bankruptcy courts don't take money from
No.
Well, they took
debtors.
somebody, well, say Remco took it and the state took it, okay? They took $700,000 from me, okay? With that money, at least I could have got me a recycling license. I could have done everything the way y'all want it done. But since I got robbed, basically robbed of all that money, and my family got robbed, that's why I'm in the situation I am now.
Well, Mr. Noriega, I think you're in the situation you are now because you avoided the law and did not operate a business within the law and obtain the licenses and do the proper record keeping and bookkeeping that's required of anybody that's in business.
Right, sir. I didn't have a chance, sir. That's why. I didn't have a chance.
When the outfit from El Paso came and crushed 150 of your vehicles, they paid you, right?
Yes, they paid me.
Do you not think that is a preferable situation to the other time that under the auspices of the bankruptcy, Remco had to come do it? Because they didn't pay you, did they?
No, they didn't.
Then don't you think it would be in your best interest to get on the phone to El Paso again?
You know what, sir?
And start doing this?
You know what I think, sir? You get these recycling places here in town, right? You got them all, 2 or 3 of them here in town. There's people that take hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of metal there every day, thousands and thousands of dollars it adds up to. More money than I was ever even paid if you look at all the public that's taking metal to all these recycling places. Do you think they pay taxes on any of that metal they take in, sir? Answer me that one.
Oh, I doubt it.
Okay, and that's half the town sometimes doing the recycling. That's in every town in New Mexico, every state in New Mexico that's happening. And look at all that money that people are getting paid and not paying taxes on, you know?
But I would remind you that it's not other people's conduct that is at issue here. It's
I
yours.
know it's not, sir, but I have the right to talk up here and tell you what's going on. You know, it's like buying a car, sir. When you buy a car, you pay the taxes on that car when you buy it. When that person resells that car, what does he do? He pays taxes on that car again. And what does that person do when they resell the car again? They pay taxes on that car again. Those people, the state or, you know, the IRS is getting, look at all that extra money they're getting paid on all these cars that are being resold 5 or 6 times over. Look at all that tax money they get that was already paid when that car was bought off the showroom floor the first time it was bought. Look at all that money. They're getting money every time they sell that car. Is that right? Do you think that's right, that everybody that sells the car they already bought should have to pay sales tax on it again?
That's up to the legislature.
Yeah, it is, but I'm telling you, that's what's happening, though. And you know that's what's happening. You know, and y'all want to just pick on me, you know, for a junkyard I got that's industrial, commercial and stuff, that I've already had 1,000 cars taken from me that I didn't get a penny for, you know, and had my property cleaned up, you know, and y'all want to attack me again, you know, and again, you know, I'm only one person, you know. You got to put your feet in my shoes once in a while and see what I'm going through, you know. I'm going through stuff. That fire that started at my place was started intentionally, you know. It wasn't me that started it. You know, there's fires that start up all over the place that people start. You know, there's houses all over this town that are burned halfway down that are still standing up, you know, that are still there. Nobody's done nothing about them. You know, I can bring you pictures and pictures and pictures, all you want, you know, of all these places. You know, I'm not the only one, you know, that's supposedly breaking the law, you know, and I think I should deserve the time to clean my place up. You know, I've already had it taken from me once, you know, for 3 years. It took Ramco 3 years to do the paperwork on my cars. Miss Mendez said it takes 6 months. Well, she's blowing hot air, you know, because that's a bunch of bull.
So, Mr. Noriega, how long will it take you to clean this up? What is the time frame that you say a year? You're trying to tell us it's going to take longer than that.
At least, it ain't going to take longer than that. If I say I can do it in less than a year, I can get it done in less than a year.
Can you do it in 6 months?
If you give me 6 months, I'll clean it up in 6 months.
How many cars are you talking about cleaning up? All of them? Part of them?
All of them.
All of them. How many cars do you have?
Probably around 600 cars.
And you'll have someone that's licensed come in
Yeah.
and do that?
Anytime I ever had cars smashed, the people were licensed, sir. You know, I didn't have a license. You know, back then they said I had to have a recycler's license to get my cars crushed and stuff. Why should I have to have a recycler's license when the person that's crushing my car hasn't? You know, he has their license to do that stuff. You know, that's why when I was in the tow business and I had my cars crushed, you know, it was legal for me because I was in the tow business and I had to have a way to dispose of all those cars. And the only way to dispose of them was have a licensed dismantler come in and crush them.
Okay, we're aware of all that. What the issue at hand here is the appeal of the condemnation resolution.
Yes.
And we're asking you for the plan to show us a plan, right, Stan?
Give me 6 months. That's my plan.
6 months from
Today.
today. That you'll show us a plan or you'll have it cleaned up?
No. I'll have it cleaned up.
And you're not taking any more vehicles, right?
Sir, I'm still taking vehicles. Whatever they give me, I'll take them. They can go when the crusher comes in to crush, you can take them all.
I thought you said you weren't conducting a business.
I'm not conducting a business. That's
You're just taking vehicles.
No, that people are giving me. You know, they're giving them to me. My property's zoned for them. You know, I have the right to put them on there.
I don't think we can just give a blanket period of time to get it cleaned up. We need a plan in place right away. And we need periodic inspections if we even consider giving you any additional time. I mean, you've violated every law. Your record keeping is ridiculous, horrible, it doesn't exist.
Sir, do y'all
And
have proof of that?
you try to say other people do it. Doesn't matter what others do. There are laws in this country that have to be obeyed, and you pay the taxes.
Right, that should be obeyed by everybody, sir. Everybody, not just me.
That's right, but you can't use that as an excuse to exempt you from paying.
You know what, sir? If I'm being picked on and ridiculed and money
Sir,
taken from me
I have
and my
50 years
family,
experience as a CPA preparing taxes and working with people on taxes.
can I say something, sir? Okay, back in the day when people crushed cars and stuff, they all got paid cash. It wasn't only me, all right? Everybody got paid cash back then. You know, they started here lately where they have to put it in your bank account.
I think
But
you're missing the issue. That's past history. We want to know what can happen now to get this rectified.
I just said what could happen now. I said, give me 6 months.
Where do you live, Mr. Noriega?
I live on 1801 North Union, and I live on 6217 Devonian, and I don't have any transits living out there. There's only one man living on the property out there right now. One person.
Is that the person that started the fire?
No, that's the person that was hanging around out there that shouldn't have been there, visiting one of the guys, the mechanic that was living out there. It was him and the mechanic. The guy was mad at the mechanic and said he had stolen from him years prior to, back in the day or whatever, and he found the mechanic that worked for me. And between the both of them arguing and doing whatever they did, that's how the fire started. You know, I had a friend of mine on the property when it started. He was there. You know, he's the one that called the fire department.
If you're not conducting a business, why do you have a mechanic working for you?
I have him out there to do whatever I need him to do. If he works on my cars, my friends' cars, or whatever, I had a license, a mechanic license, you know, to work on cars when I had my mechanic shop. You know, it got closed down when they took the 1,000 cars from me. They made me close my mechanic shop down. They made me close my tow business down. You know, I didn't have no means of making money at all.
Any more comments, Commissioners? Thank you, Mr. Noriega.
Thank you.
Lewis, do you have any comments as far as what a timetable would look like if this ordinance was, or this resolution was approved?
No, sir. 6 months, I'm not sure. According to the paperwork that needs to be done per vehicle, 6 months is going to be we got to make sure, we should make sure that the process is being followed by the licensed auto recycler. They should provide that information to, I believe, to Sheriff Harrington to verify that it is being done legally, that everything is being followed. If not, Sheriff Harrington, at least the state police, that those VIN numbers are being run, that the lien holders are being notified, that the owners are being notified, that everything is being done correctly.
But Mr. Noriega says all those vehicles are his.
We still have to check. The licensed recycler still must go through the proper process of checking that VIN number.
Stan, I have a question. If we approve this appeal and those measures aren't taken in the proper order, or those VIN numbers aren't checked, and could they come back on the county and say, you know, you guys didn't follow the letter to the T, and it would come back on us?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I don't believe so at that point. If he's doing that, that's on him. he needs to follow the law. We're not responsible if he doesn't follow the law or not.
Okay.
Now, if we took it over, then we would need to do it.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, let me ask you if you'd like to go into closed session and have a discussion with regards to attorney-client privilege on this matter or not.
What's the pleasure of the commission?
So the question is, we'd make a motion to go into a closed-door session, real quick? I'll make a motion to go into a closed-door session.
If you'd so like to, we could do that under 10-15-1H7.
Yep. As long as what? You want,
It would need to be 10-15-1H7 for attorney-client privileged
that would be the
conversation.
motion. Right.
Yeah, it has to be in the motion.
That has to be in the motion.
That has to be in the motion?
Yes.
Say that again.
10-15-1H7 pursuant to.
I make a motion pursuant to 10-15-1H7 to go into closed-door session.
And that's H7, just a point of
H7.
clarification.
I'll second that.
Cindy?
And let the motion reflect that no action will be taken.
Yeah, no action will be taken.
Thank you.
Yes.
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 And Commissioner Bilberry?
Yes.
Yes, sir. You have 5-0.
Okay, we're going to recess for just a second.
Andrew, did you see the text I sent you? Just.
I could have drove a lot slower than
And then you woke him up.
and then we woke up. Well, he had it. These are babies too, so he has to get hurt by last night, yeah.
You good?
Yep.
Okay, I need a motion to come back into session.
I make a motion, we go back into regular session.
Pursuant to 10-15-1H7.
And that nothing was dis-
No action
That
was
we
taken.
come out of executive session where we discussed attorney-client privileged information, and that no formal action was taken.
Second.
Calder, is that, are you making the motion or Michael making the motion? No. Calder.
Both of us.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
We need a roll call.
Okay, we need a roll call vote. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Aye. Yes.
Commissioner Perry, yes.
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor? Commissioner Dana?
Yes.
Commissioner Ezell?
Aye.
And Commissioner Bennett?
Yes. Okay. On to the agenda, item number 2.
Mr. Noriega, why don't you come back up to the microphone in case you have any comments that need to be included in the record. Mr. Chairman, on agenda item number 2, I move that we deny Mr. Noriega's appeal of Resolution R-23054, condemning his property at 6217 Devonian Street, Roswell, New Mexico, and that we enter into an agreement with Mr. Noriega for the remediation of the condemned property with the following stipulations and conditions. Mr. Noriega will maintain the property and immediately begin the removal of the vehicles on a schedule that will allow the property to be totally remediated within 6 months of the date of the agreement. Mr. Noriega will not conduct any business with the public. No new vehicles will come in to the property. No one will live there. The property will be subject to planning and zoning and law enforcement inspections at all reasonable times. Mr. Noriega will report monthly, not less than monthly, to planning and zoning with his plan for the removal of a minimum of 100 vehicles a month. And such other conditions that planning and zoning feel are reasonable. Can you live with that?
Sir, I live on the property. Are you saying I can't even live on my own property?
I didn't think it was zoned for.
I didn't think it was zoned for residential.
Well, you can't even have a night watchman there watching your property. It's industrial commercial. You know, I should be able to have somebody at least watching my property.
I think that's acceptable.
Yep.
So long as he's in compliance with the New Mexico Environmental Department and the New Mexico State Engineers for water and sewer. And he does supply
Please
proper
add that.
electricity.
Anything else, Mr. Noriega, that I have not thought of?
The only thing I would like, y'all are going to give me a written proposition of what you want me to do?
Exactly. You're going to agree to it, and you're going to sign it.
The only thing I would like to do, sir.
And in 6 months, if you haven't
Right.
complied, we'll take our next step.
Okay, I don't mind that. All I want to do is get a copy of that whenever we do it.
Oh, well, of course.
And I want to show it to my attorney and let him look at it and make sure that he agrees with it too, that's all.
Yep.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Ezell, do we need to put a timeline on the return on the document, or what's typically done in the legal field when he wants to show it to his attorney? Do we need to stipulate how soon that comes back?
10 days.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you all.
Let me
Thank
have
you.
a second.
Second, second,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Motion second by
I think Dara did, didn't you?
I did.
Commissioner Dana.
I second.
I can't repeat all of that, so you've got it written down.
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Let's move on to agenda item number 3, agreements and resolutions.
Morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Item number 3 is the request to approve AIA Agreement A-24-001 to Mirador Enterprise Incorporated of El Paso, Texas. The award recommendation for ITB 24-2 PVRCC renovation rebid was approved at the December 2023 Commission meeting. Awarding Mirador Enterprises as the contractor for the project. Agreement A-24-001 is the AIA agreement for this project. Legal has reviewed and staff recommends approval.
Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve AIA Agreement A-24-001 to Mirador Enterprises of El Paso.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of agreement A-24-001. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Agenda item number 4.
Thank you. Item number 4 is the request to approve another AIA agreement, which is A24-002 to Mirador Enterprise of El Paso, Texas. This award recommendation for ITB 24-3 court compliance remodel was also approved at the December 2023 commission meeting, awarding Mirador Enterprise. Agreement A24-002 is the AIA agreement for this project. Legal has also reviewed and staff recommends approval.
Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve AIA Agreement A-24-002 to Mirador Enterprises of El Paso.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dan, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of agreement A-24-002. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 5 is for agreement A-24003, which is the lease for the Midway Joy Center located at 126 Willard Road, Dexter, New Mexico. Staff recommends approval. I stand for questions.
Anyone have any questions for Bill?
Mr. Chairman, Bill.
Yes.
Midway Joy Center in Dexter, this is for the lease for the building. They lease the building from Chaves County? Is this correct?
That's correct. We own the building.
Okay, okay. And they are associated with the Joy Center of Chaves County? Is that correct?
Yes, the Roswell Joy Centers, that would include the Hagerman Joy Center, the Roswell Joy Center, and the Midway Joy Center are all under their, well, that's the only ones we have any ownership of. There is a Joy Center in Lake Arthur, but we do not own the physical building.
Okay, so we own the building of Hagerman, Midway, and Roswell?
That's correct.
Okay, and we do have the Roswell.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, Chaves County is the fiscal agent
Yes.
for all the Chaves County
Yes.
Joy Centers. Okay. They receive money, funding through where?
Aging and long-term services, I believe is.
Okay, okay, so they're under the bylaws of aging and long-term.
Yes.
Okay.
Would you?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Dana, we are their fiscal agent for grants, not necessarily for their operating expenses. Just to clarify that, any operating expenses, we don't oversee their operationals.
Okay, we don't oversee operational. Okay. Does, Mr. Chairman and Annabelle, does Chaves County invest in, the only thing we invest in is the buildings?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Dana, that's correct.
Okay, okay.
And we do have anything that is purchased for the Joy Centers, for example, the vans, those are on our inventory, but the Joy Centers do use those. But other than that, operating expenses, meals, things like that, that they have is through them. It's not through us.
Who maintains the buildings then? Who is supposed to maintain the buildings? Chaves County or the Joy Center itself?
Mr. Chairman, Madam Commissioner, they are required to maintain their own buildings.
Okay. Since we are leasing the building and it starts to be in disrepair, is there something that we can say about that?
Yes, there is. We, as we do with all of the Chaves County-owned buildings, we have to monitor their condition and assure that they're being done right. As a part of the lease, they have to provide their insurance and make sure that if there was a fire, for instance, it would be reimbursed to the county.
So if there is a problem with the buildings,
we would just need to let
Okay.
them know that it needs to be fixed and give them a timeline, I think would be appropriate.
okay, so we can do that as a
Yes.
county, since they're not maintaining our building.
Yes.
Okay. Can we go down and inspect them?
Yes, we can.
We can. Who do we contact to do that?
Alex can set that up with facility maintenance and through
Okay.
his
Okay,
office.
good to know.
I think Commissioner Dana has a problem she wants.
I do have a problem. I do have a problem.
I'm sensing that.
Miss Rita, would you like to address this, please?
I'm sensing that.
Oh, now.
There's a collaborative effort here.
There is.
Yeah, well,
I'm-
Fix was
I'm-
in on this one, wasn't it?
Well, there's a lot more coming.
Chaves County Commissioners, Rita Kane Dorhofer. I am liaison to the Midway office. You have all appointed, well, not you, yeah, but most of you have appointed me. For over 5 years, there are 5 broken windows, and you did see, I never knew that mold came in yellow, orange, green, and black. And this has been happening. When I keep telling the director about this, oh, poo-poo, she doesn't care. When I wrote to the state of long-term and aging, then guess what? The floor was fixed. There was the floor that wasn't fixed, the 5 broken windows that are not fixed. There are several things that are not fixed at Midway. And I believe that the executive director has written to remove me from the board several times. And you, in your wisdom, have kept me on this board. And I try and hold her accountable, and nobody is helping me yet. I did talk to Annabelle, no, I talked to Lucia about, Annabelle told you about the items that are purchased. Well, the items were purchased, and some of them they couldn't use in Midway, and it is specific. The items are site-specific. And I brought the toaster in. We could have burnt down the whole place trying to plug in that toaster. And she said she would take care of it. Lucia, have you received anything on the fact that she has disposed of the toaster like she's supposed to? No, she has not. Dara has been down there several times. Dara, did you see the bathroom before you didn't go into the bathrooms there? You did go into the bathrooms. And were they fixed when you went in, or were they fixed after you went in?
After.
After.
Yep.
That's because the state was notified. I'm just saying that and let's talk Hagerman. Hagerman had a roof problem, and they got $50,000, and that roof has not been fixed. So I'm just saying that something needs to be done for our buildings. Thank you.
Thank
Do
you,
have any
Ms. Rita.
questions?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
That is going with Ms. Rita to these facilities and seeing the facilities. I have a problem when we're leasing something and the person who is supposed to be taking care of these buildings, we're trying to provide a service for our seniors throughout the valley and in Chaves County. And I really get upset about this because my parents in Alamogordo, they went to the senior center every day. That's what kept them going, was getting up every day, taking a shower, getting dressed, and going to a senior center, having a good meal, and socializing. And I've been to Midway. I've been to Hagerman. I've even been to the one in Roswell. And watching these seniors socialize. It is our duty and our responsibility, if we're going to lease these buildings, that they are maintained so nothing happens to these seniors. My dad had to use a walker. If you can't get into the building using a walker, and if he happened to fall or somebody happened to fall, this is our responsibility. And when you talk kids and seniors, I get really upset. And these are our buildings. So we need to make sure that these buildings, when we're leasing them, are being taken care of, and the seniors that walk into those buildings are being taken care of. So that's why I am bringing this up, and I hope Alex and Bill, we can start watching this, because these are the taxpayers' buildings that we are leasing, and they have to be maintained, they have to be in good order, and our seniors need to be taken care of. That's our commitment to our taxpayers and our seniors. So that's why I bring it up. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, Madam Commissioner, as a provision of the lease, it says lessor, it shall inspect the premises with the lessee at the beginning of this lease. So that's written into our lease that we will inspect that building at the beginning of this lease, which if you approve it, of course, we're required to go take a look at it at that point. But we will make appointments to look at all of the Joy Center facilities and assure that things are being taken care of appropriately. Thank you.
Thank you. With that being said, Mr. Chairman, I move we accept Agreement A-24-003 between Chaves County and Chaves County Joy Center for the lease of building located at 126 Willard Road in Dexter.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dash, second by Commissioner Ezell for approval of Agreement A-24-003. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioner Ezell, I need to step out for just a minute. Could you
Sure.
take over for me?
How about agenda item number 6? Hi, Lucia.
Commissioners, how are you? Agenda item number 6 is Resolution R-24-001, which is a deletion of property and proposed disposition. Your approval of this resolution will allow staff to remove the attached inventory. Exhibit A has all the assets listed. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioner Dana, have you had an
I'm
opportunity
looking,
to go?
I'm
Okay.
looking. I don't know. There's a vacuum cleaner. I might need that vacuum cleaner. Oh, my gosh. This is amazing. This is so funny. This is like looking through my closets. This is ridiculous. In my shop. I don't need a drill press. Where's Steph to tell me I don't need that drill press? I have one. Mr. Chairman, I move we accept Resolution R-24-001, deletion of property and proposed disposition.
Second.
There's been a motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Perry for the approval of agenda item number 6, Resolution R-24-001. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. The motion carries.
Thank you.
And agenda item number 7, Emma.
Good morning, Commissioners. Agenda item number 7, Resolution R-24-002 is approving changes to personnel charts. This resolution incorporates the increase of the Leo wage Schedule D, Level S, and Level D, updating charts A, A1, C, D, and E, the elimination of 1 road maintenance detention officer position and 1 detention officer position, and with that, the addition of 1 safety and compliance lieutenant position. Moving up the civil records assistant from Chart C, Level C, to Chart C, Level D. The position specification summary has been updated for the above-named positions. The county also desires to pick up the 10% increase for the employees previously included in the CBA. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of Resolution R-24-002, approving changes to the personnel charts.
I second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Taylor, second by Commissioner Perry for the approval of Resolution R-24-002, changes to the personnel charts for fiscal year 23-24. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. The motion carries.
Thank you.
Chairman, Commissioners, can I say something real quick?
Absolutely.
I just want to say I appreciate you doing this. The deputies appreciate this very much. And I want to thank you for all the work that you've done for all of Chaves County personnel, getting these raises. But I do believe this is going to keep the retention here as well as bring in new deputies. So I do appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Mr.
you,
Chairman,
Sheriff.
would you do me a favor, Mike, and tell the governor to quit giving pay raises to state police? We heard it at New Mexico counties over and over and over again that we were losing to state police.
We made that very clear to the cabinet secretary as well. So, but he made a point. Those are his people, so he's going to try to do everything he can to get them a raise. And we appreciate his hard work, but there's more than just the state police.
Yes, amen.
Annabelle, you have agenda item number 8.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 8 is Resolution R-24-003. We're asking for a budget adjustment for fiscal year 2024. Those line items are, reflected in Exhibit A, and they are for the adjustments that was just previously passed, for the adjustments for salary survey and the insurance increase for sheriff deputies. They are also for a sheriff donation and a change for the public health building construction. Staff requests approval.
You're going to make us pay for number 7, huh?
Yes.
Dang. Commissioners.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve Resolution R-24-003, Budget Agreement Resolution Fiscal Year 2024.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Taylor, second by Commissioner Perry for the approval of Resolution R-24003, the Budget Agreement Resolution for fiscal year 2024. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ezell. I wasn't sure where we were at.
Oh,
on the agenda. Go ahead and finish, because I wasn't sure where we were at.
We're on 9.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you.
Commissioners, I would like to point out that we had an error on our agenda and agenda item number 9 for the notice of public meeting for Chaves County Planning and Zoning Commission and Chaves County Land Council. That needs to be heard at those meetings, not at your meeting. And so moving on to former agenda item number 10, which is now agenda item number 9. The New Mexico County Insurance Authority held its annual meeting on January the 16th, 2024, last week at the New Mexico County's meeting. Chaves County needs to appoint a voting member and an alternate. Staff is requesting that Ms. Lucia Serrano, Assistant Finance Director, be appointed as the voting member, that Mr. Alex Palomino, Public Services Director, be appointed as the alternate. And we would like to say that we actually already put their names forward, so we're asking you to ratify our request with New Mexico counties. Thank you.
Commissioners.
I move we ratify the appointment of
Lucia and
Lucia
Alex
as voting member and Alex as alternate for the New Mexico County Insurance Authority voting members.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Ezell, second by Commissioner Dana for the ratification of the appointment of the New Mexico County Insurance Authority voting members. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Agenda item number 10, request of out-of-state travel, which is from the agenda item number 11.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 10 now is a request for out-of-state travel. This is a request for me to go ahead and go to the NACO's 2024 Legislative Conference. This conference will be taking place in Washington, D.C. on February 9th through the 13th. I request approval.
Commissioner, I move to approve agenda item 10. Is that what we're on?
Yes.
Yes.
The request of out-of-state travel for the NACO Legislative Conference.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Perry, second by Commissioner Dana for approval of request of out-of-state travel. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Be careful.
You have to
Thank
come
you.
home. Don't stay. You have to come home.
Agenda item number 11.
I don't think there's any danger for staying in DC in February.
True.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 11 is ratification of out-of-state travel to Liberty Hill, Texas. Chaves County Sheriff's Office is requesting ratification of authorization to send one of its employees to the Police K-9 Handler course in Liberty Hill, Texas, which was held on January 14, 2024, and will be completed January 27, 2024. The training is presented by Pacesetter K-9 LLC and consists of 80 hours of training in K-9 safety, care for K-9, obedience training, maximizing the impact of drug scent evidence, and narcotics detection. The registration fees for this course and per diem and travel are for Deputy Delgado and K-9 Deputy Felique are covered by the Sheriff's Department, and because they only have these classes every so often, when there was an opening available, we felt we needed to move forward with that. So we would ask that you'd ratify this out-of-state travel for Officer Delgado and Deputy Felique. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just glad that it doesn't include for Deputy Felique for his meals. He might eat a lot. I know my dogs do. Mr. Chairman,
Is the obedience training for the dog or Delgado?
both. Both.
As it should be.
Mr. Chairman, I move ratification of out-of-state travel to Liberty Hill, Texas for Police K-9 Handler course, 80 hours.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Ezell for ratification of out-of-state travel to Liberty Hill, Texas. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approval of checks.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of checks in the amount of $2,724,807.18.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Approval of checks is by Commissioner Taylor. Motion by Commissioner Taylor, second by Commissioner Dana. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approval of reports.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept reports.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of reports. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, unscheduled communications. 3 minutes per visitor, not to exceed 15 minutes. Anybody want to take the microphone?
Rita's shaking her head.
Yeah. Name and address, please, sir.
Just said her piece.
It's good to see you again.
Marvin Clements, 6102 Kincaid. I know y'all worked hard on trying to get all this mess cleaned up about these junk cars and all that kind of stuff. You approved Mr. Noriega's request to have some done. A bunch of them junk cars, I don't want them coming to my neighborhood, okay? That's what happens. They call them out there in my neighborhood, and this guy on Chips and Brakeman bunch, they chop them up with an axe. Bang, bang, bang all the time. We did a little work out there and got some places on the demo list. County cleaned up one spot out there, but there's a lot of work left to be done. There is regulations that say about how many cars can be on a piece of property. You know, let's see, what is it, 66-4-11, I think it is. We need to keep forcing this to happen, to clean up our county. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Lewis.
Chairman, Commissioners, you requested a report on Mr. James Gibson's appeal from December. It has run 35 days since that commission hearing, and we have not heard from him. So I believe at the next commission.
What were our conditions on that one?
He had 60 days to present a plan to the Planning and Zoning Department on how he was going to improve or correct the issues. at 304 Ryan Road. And then also, with the two resolutions, there were 28 properties so far on the condemnation. Dealing with just Mr. Noriega's, we have addressed 12 of them. 10 of them have been cleaned up, either by us, the county, or the personal property owner. So I want to thank the Sheriff's Department. I want to thank the Roads Departments for their assistance and all that they've been doing in helping us, and Rudy's Towing. As you heard, they had to clear some trees for us to get to some vehicles, and bless them for doing that for us. So that the Road Department could get in there and get to work. So thank you all.
Thank you.
And what is the, on the 10 that you said we had to clean up 10?
We've had to clean up 4.
4.
6 of them were cleaned up by the property owners.
What are the amounts of the liens that we filed on the 4?
Approximately, we were given 61,000. We've used 31,000 approximately. And we've been assured by 2 of the property owners that they will pay their bill when we send them the invoice.
Good.
Rita, you didn't want to, no comment. No words of wisdom.
I already did, so it's okay.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Seeing none, thank you. Bill?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I want to thank you for all the salary survey approvals that you've done both last month and this month. The union is officially out of business, I guess. We've got the official paperwork, and we're looking forward to moving forward and having the freedom to react when necessary for the deputies, whereas we haven't had that for the last several years. We've been unable to be reactive and give them the approval that they need in some cases, but now we're able to do that on a much more smooth basis, I guess. Want to congratulate the Finance Department. They received their 9th Financial Excellence Award. It's an audit award, and I don't think anyone's surprised by that. They continue to do a great job. It's the entire staff down there. Annabelle certainly shares the credit with all of them, and we thank you for your leadership, and we thank your staff for the great job that they do. I want to thank Rita Kane Dorhofer from narrow, unstriped Mark Road, and Commissioner Dana and the other board members on the Joy Center board for keeping our Joy Centers up and in such good shape for our seniors. We appreciate all you're doing and the hurdles you're overcoming. So thank you for that. I want to do a quick shout out. Of course, we're going to the detention facility for our annual commission visit to the Chaves County Detention Facility. I just want to say that in the last 6 months, the changes made there are remarkable. We had the National Institute for Jail Operations come in. They came in just a few days, literally, after the last director left and did a report. Already been scheduled. You commissioners asked that we find better ways to manage our jail, and we were in the process of doing that. And we had that gentleman come in and evaluate our procedures and what all was going on at the jail. Literally within a few days after the last director left, he returned. Was it January 2nd? I think it was January 2nd, the first day of the year that we were back. He returned and reevaluated the thing, and he could not believe the changes that have taken place. And it's not just staffing. We're nearly 100% staffed. We may be 100% staffed this week, actually, but it's not just staffing, but it's the training. It's everything that should be done in a correctional facility is being done and more, and they're continuing to identify areas that they can do even better. So I just want to thank them, and I know that you will all see the changes. It's pretty amazing. In 6 months' time, we have a great staff there.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Commissioner Perry.
I just want to give a quick thank you to the staff for doing such a great job at doing the communications and doing the presentations. I used to be on that side of it, so I know that a lot of work goes into it, and sometimes it goes by pretty quick, but thank you for that. Also, Louis, your group, thank you very much. I know there's a lot of work that goes into that, and there's a lot of times you got to start the clock and restart the clock and start the clock again on some of the time frames. So your diligence on that puts us in a good spot today to where we can recess and talk about the great work that the county's done, so thank you.
Commissioner Taylor?
I again, too, would like to thank the entire staff for all the hard work and the excellence that we have here in the county, and especially Annabelle and her staff. I mean, they're doing a fantastic job, and it's always a pleasure to know that our finances are in excellent shape here in the county, and it's due to the entire staff that we have. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. Commissioner Dana?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I want to say thank you to Annabelle and her staff. A few of us went up to New Mexico counties for the conference in the start of the legislative session. I sit on the board of New Mexico counties. We do have some priorities that we are working on. We'll see if they get through, if they get passed. It's, I guess, a fast and furious session. We'll be back up there on February 3rd for another board meeting to go over the priorities and see where they sit in committee. But just want to thank that organization. As NACO and New Mexico counties, it's a lot of really good information. They have a lot of good presentations for us, and it's nice to know that when we go up there, Chaves County is the envy of some of the counties as we hear what we're doing, and now with our detention center and the good things that are going on with our detention center. There's a lot of problems going on throughout the counties, and we heard about it during last week's conference. But Chaves County, thank you so much to everyone, the staff in Chaves County. We are doing an excellent job, and I heard it, and I heard all the problems, and we're doing really good here in Chaves County. And I just want to say thank you very much to our staff here in Chaves County and our law enforcement. I heard that too, about everybody's complaining about everybody going to state police, but it's like, state police, you have to travel and you have to put up with that. Here you get to work at home. So I hope we emphasize that. I try to when I see our law enforcement, that our communities really appreciate y'all, and we want you to stay here and work here where you're appreciated, very much so. But thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Ezell?
Just reiterate what everybody said. Thank you for all the hard work, Annabelle. Great job with your never-ending series of awards. And we have the best county in the state because we have the best people running it. And I am just tickled that we can manage our revenues and expenses where we can pick up 10% increases in health insurance without batting an eyelash. And our people deserve it, and I'm just thrilled that we can provide things like that. So thank you all for what you do.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill. I don't know that I could say any more. Pretty proud to be part of it. And even though we have issues within our county, we seem to get them taken care of, and everybody pulls together. Thank everybody for what they do. Okay, we're going to go leave and sign some documents and go to the jail. Not to stay, but to go. And then we'll adjourn from there. Thank you.
And we'll return from jail.
Yes. Yes.